Well done, guys. I'm not going to stand up here and harp on to you guys, because you guys know what the message is that we need to send to government. And that's why we're here today. That's why we've called a national demonstration. Because the people that meet weekly behind us in government buildings are obviously not doing their job. What we've continued to see over the last number of months is a solid increase in people that are presented into emergency accommodation, an increase in rough sleepers that peaked at 193 rough sleepers on the streets of Dublin only 2 weeks ago, an increase in families that are entering emergency accommodation and support services, an increase in children that are being made to live in hotels, B&Bs. We've had constant promises after promise and commitments that were made from the government that haven't been fulfilled. We were told the families that are in emergency accommodation would be exiting emergency accommodation in only 2 weeks' time. That's not going to happen. We've a letter from the manager stating that there's over 400 families going to remain in hotels or B&B style accommodation. One message that we want to get across to people is homes, not hubs. We don't support these hubs. We don't support these warehouses that we're being cattled into by the government. People are being forced into communal living facilities like the old tenement houses years ago, with one kitchen, one washroom, one shower, one bathroom, wherever it may be. That's not what we want for our children, for the children that are in emergency accommodation right across this city. So one message that we want to get out here today is homes, not hubs, and we're asking you, take to social media, okay, because this message will get heard loud and clear. We don't want these hubs, we want homes. We need a solid social build programme and houses at the end of it. The Minister has already failed by not exiting people from homelessness or not taking them out of hotels and B&Bs, and that was one commitment that he made as Minister for Housing. His 2020 plan is not working. It's failed. It's already doomed to fail. There's not enough social houses being built in order to put people on an exit programme from homelessness. In January of this year, we met with the Minister and we handed him a strategic 10-point strategic homeless plan and asked him would he implement some of those changes. And these are very, very simple changes to homeless services that could better the lives of people that have to access homeless services. Not one of these plans or one of these points was put into effect. Okay, so that clearly states that government don't want to listen to the people. They don't want to listen to the people that are working on the ground with homelessness every day of the week. I'm not going to stand up here with one message: homes, not hubs. We need houses, and we need to send a clear and definitive message to the government that we're not going to support their plan. Jen.
Thanks for that, Anthony. Next up we have Aisling Hederman, and Aisling is speaking today on behalf of the Irish Housing Network. So the Irish Housing Network is a group, an association that was set up by various housing and homelessness groups to fight the ongoing battle of the housing and homelessness crisis. They basically believe in the basic premise that everyone is entitled to housing. It's a right, a basic human right. And they aim to provide information, resources, and coordinate ongoing action with groups across the country. So please welcome Aisling Hederman.
Hello everybody. My name is Aisling Hederman and I'm part of an organisation called North Dublin Bay Housing Crisis Community. We're a community action group that take actions when people are refused emergency accommodation or can't access the services that they most need in order to gain proper living for their family. I'd like to thank ICHH for inviting us today and helping organise to such a big march. It's been such a great day that a charity has come forward and had given a voice for those that are most affected on the issues that we most need to come together about. The 5 demands that we came together to promote this march have been: 1. Emergency accommodation must have an independent review. We feel that an independent review is immediate. It needs to happen right now on the basis of what goes on inside the hostels and the conditions and standards within the hostels. Many people will not go and stay in the hostel because they are afraid. There is drugs and alcohol and no wraparound services to help these individuals to move on with their lives. Number 2, Emergency accommodation as the centre of care, 24-hour access and wraparound supports. Every individual should have a right to be coming and going out of these hostels and emergency accommodation anytime they want. They should be able to make it a home. They should have individual rooms with doors, with locks, and also full wraparound services so that they can access key workers when they need to want to get a job. They can access the key workers if they have to go and get addiction problems and mental health issues sorted. They need that right now. The third demand is no to the family hubs. As you can see, Bargain Town has been one selected area out in Coolock. Bargain Town is a warehouse. There's no way are we going to allow families to go into a hub in the Bargain Town warehouse. We're going to see restrictions. You're going to see families disrupted, put forward issues that they don't even have, that they're going to have to deal with. If they've overcome any of their issues, they're going to have to relive their lives and relieve their issues, when that's not the issue. The issue is they need to build homes. Number 4, we need no evictions and security of tenure in private rental market. Why is that? HAP, Housing Assistance Payment, is social housing. You go into social housing, you are not guaranteed that you're going to be there for a long, long time. You could be gone in 6 months because of the legislation. You could be gone because the landlord has decided to sell up his home, to bring home a family member, or to refurbish, which we're seeing in the Dublin City Centre. What's happening in Dublin City Centre is we're seeing an awful lot of old people that are being evicted from their homes. It's called social cleansing. Social cleansing is happening in all the estates around Dublin and in the country. And we can see that in the regeneration programmes. The regeneration programme in Ballymun says that they can't accept rent allowance or HAP for any individual that lives in Ballymun. That's a problem. Why can't they stay in their community? We are a community and we're here to fight back as a community. On the 5th point of our demands, build and buy social housing. The usage of the 183,000 empty houses and buy portfolios from NAMA. This is a huge issue. Although many of the houses mightn't be based in Dublin, who's to say people don't want to move outside of Dublin? Who's to say people don't want to move outside of Carlow or Kilkenny or Kerry or Cork? We should open up the housing list so that we can move and have freedom of movement anywhere we want to go. The standards and conditions that came to light with the Grenfell is heartbreaking. I only caught up with everything last night at 2 o'clock because my Facebook doesn't seem to be trending through my page. Sitting there and looking at it has been so touching to see a community come together to actually rally and demand answers from the council and from their government, because that's what we need. We're not far from behind it. We advocate, we bring the problems to the council, but we're not being listened to. We will have a tragedy if this happens with the Bargain Towns, with the modular homes. It's all going to happen if we don't stand together and fight. I hope after today, an awful lot of people, an awful lot of groups, an awful lot of the soup runs who we have to thank that are out every single day, feeding, watering, clothing, and empowering the homeless to fight for their rights. It's time that we all came together, political parties, community groups, and charities. Everyone comes together with one voice, and we stand for one voice. Housing for all!
Thank you very much for that, Aisling. Our next speaker is NJ Kenny, speaking on behalf of the Dublin Tenants Association. The Dublin Tenants Association is a private rented sector tenant-led peer support group, and they believe that decent, secure and affordable housing should be a right for everyone in the country. So please welcome up NJ Kenny.
Well, life as a tenant in Ireland, unless you're very comfortably off. Moving to bed, okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Look, life as a tenant in Ireland is one of fear at the moment. Unless you're very lucky or very comfortably off, you're living with constant fear and insecurity that you are going to be made homeless. And nobody knows if they are going to be the next person. We are living with absolutely cripplingly unaffordable rents. There is nowhere for us to rent in any way affordable. There is the threat of evictions constantly, and we're told that there's nothing that can be done. We've already endured massive rent increases over the last few years. Some tenants have endured as much as 40% of rent increases. Rents are now higher than they were at the height of the boom. We're given this rental strategy and told that we'll be given 4% rent caps. Our rents can only go up by 4% each year. What kind of rent controls is that supposed to be? Who else is guaranteed that their wages will go up by 12% over 3 years? And bear in mind that this 4% rule is for a maximum limit of 3 years in duration only. And worse than that, tenants ourselves are expected to police this 4% rule. How are we supposed to do that if we are living under constant threat of eviction? If we are competing with hundreds of other desperate tenants looking to find somewhere to rent, how are we supposed to ask the landlords or the letting agencies, how much was this place for rent for previously? It is an impossible task that we are faced with doing this. And nonetheless, the consequences for us, if we cannot meet our rent through no fault of our own, if we get sick, become ill or unemployed, or if other bills such as healthcare take priority over rent, we can face eviction within 6 weeks. No matter how long we've lived somewhere, no matter how much of a good tenant we've been, if we are late with our rent, we can face a 14-day warning and after that be evicted within 28 days. So many tenants at the moment have come into homelessness from the private rental sector. We're not given the proper statistics, but we know it on the ground, and we know that the private rental sector is no answer for secure, affordable housing for people. The reality is we have absolutely no proper security of tenure. This means that all of us are under the threat of eviction. There is a number of reasons the way a private landlord can evict you. In the first 6 months of your tenancy, you can be given 28 days notice to leave for no reason whatsoever if you haven't signed a lease. After that 6 months, they can claim they have a family member moving in, or they can claim they're selling the property. Oh look, I've got a statutory declaration, so therefore it must be true. Or they can kind of suddenly say, we're substantially refurbishing the place, there is your eviction notice. And we're told in the rental strategy, tenants got security of tenure. The Part 4 tenancies are now 6 months now, not 4. That is meaningless unless the grounds of sale is removed as a reason for eviction. Refurbishment is removed as a reason for eviction. Moving a family member removed as a reason for eviction. And what is absolutely worse and just disgraceful is this HAP scheme. This HAP means that you will lose your place on the social housing waiting list. And I don't care what people say with this meaningless stuff about a transfer list. People will lose their places on the social housing list if they have no option to go onto the HAP. And where are they then? Just in the same position they were before, at threat of homelessness again. They can be evicted again for all the same reasons, and landlords have a number of ways that they can evict a tenant, and they're right back in a circle, and they're starting from square one with the social housing waiting list. And we know the solutions to this. We know that the state needs to provide mass social housing. That is the only solution for decent, affordable housing, security and tenure for all. We have got to get away from this acceptance that the financial asset of landlords and developers is more important to a person's right to a home. We're told, oh no, it's unconstitutional to mess with the private property rights. It's unconstitutional to do this and that. That is bullshit. Article 43 of our Constitution clearly acknowledges property rights, and it states that they ought to be regulated by the principles of social justice. We have to stop this acceptance of the notion that because we don't own property, we don't have a right to a home. We all have a right to a decent, affordable and secure home. And what's more, we have all got a right to good standards and safe standards and conditions in our rental homes. After that horrific fire that happened in London and Grenfell last week, how many of those Celtic Tiger apartments are a waiting for a trap, just waiting to happen? How big a tragedy is going to happen to us? We don't know who is going to be next, and what catastrophe and what hand-wringing will happen as a result. What is it going to take for us to get decent, safe and good quality accommodation permanently? We know what the solutions are. We know that the state needs to provide social housing, a mass building programme like they did in the 1920s. We need proper regulation of the private rental sector. We need decent security of tenure. We need a stop to the economic evictions. We need proper rent controls. We need decent and safe standard conditions. We need the 200,000 plus empty homes to be opened up and used or heavily taxed for these. We need regulation, proper regulation of Airbnb and proper standards and regulation in emergency accommodation as well. None of us can solve this housing crisis on our own. It is up to us to stand together, get involved in our communities, in our groups. Our housing and our futures and our children's futures depend on this. We all need and deserve decent, affordable housing.